Hey Dave, good on you, man.
Good, man. Good. Nice and busy.
Yeah, geez, we were talking about Thursday night, saying best of the year is around the corner. There's
100%.
there's been a lot of prep work here, Dave, leading up to this point.
I
Um,
don't think people understand just how much
yeah,
has to go into this.
exactly. Right.
Um,
And we've been planning since I remember starting the proposals and contacting sponsors last year, November. Last year, November. Would have been a year that we've been calling. We kind of launched in January, February, started doing judging. When was that? In March or somewhere
yeah, I
around there.
mean, you say that, but we did start working on it in like December 2019. It's just we shelved it because of COVID. So like,
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
plans that we've had in place for almost 2 years at this point now. So it's just
Yeah.
that.
No, it's crazy, eh? It's crazy. And here we are, Dave. Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night. Three more sleeps, and Investor of the Year will be behind us.
I'm
At
glad
the
you're
same
sleeping.
time, I think a lot of the contestants are nervous and excited. We should actually share one of our screens and go through who the finalists are. We have over 300 tickets out there, which is great. It's going to be a live event. But yeah, I guess let's start with who is with us today. Who's joining us?
Yeah, so we've got Jean-Paul is here as always, one of our regulars. Nico's joined. Also, so Nico's from the brokerage, for those of you guys that don't know. Henry's on. Good to see you, Henry.
Hey there, Henry. Papalele. Good to see you, Jean Paul. Yeah, I believe Nico's got quite a few angel investment deals available, which is awesome.
Nice.
Maybe Nico can tell us a bit more about them a little bit later.
Yeah, 100%. Um,
Good.
yeah, so I think let me do the usual. Guys, if you have any questions that you want Andrew and I to hit, we'll go through those a little bit later, but we're definitely gonna be talking a lot about Investor of the Year Award today. Good to see one of our finalists there, Red One. But I can quickly talk about our agenda for the week, which is going to be a nice quick one. It's going to be good. So we've got absolutely nothing until Investor of the Year Award this week, which is good. We got a bit of a VIP event happening on Thursday just before the Investor of the Year Award, and then Investor of the Year Award kicks off at, let me just make sure I got this. So about 5 to 6 o'clock, that's when we expect everyone to start arriving for Investor of the Year Award, and that's going to be that. And then the brokerage is hosting a bit of a breakfast over the weekend on the 20th on Saturday. And that's us, Drew. Nice, easy week.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Nice,
easy week
easy
with
week.
a lot of
Easy
back
week.
end admin to do, which is not cool. But it is what it is. And yeah, let's ask Red One. Red One, how are you feeling for Thursday? Hey, when you're flying up, are you flying up Wednesday, flying up Thursday? When are you coming up for Investor of the Year? And how are you feeling, Red One? Is there anyone
Yeah.
else on here that is from Investor of the Year? I don't think there is yet. Hey, let me check my
Yeah.
Facebook.
See, Drew, you were doing suits to this morning.
Yeah, getting suited and
You can
boots. I
really.
thought, geez, I better go get sorted because they're going to dry clean it, they're going to measure, and oh my word.
Yeah, I need to go do the same today. Don't worry, I'm with you. I was thinking about just picking one up in Joburg, but I'm just like, I don't think I can risk that.
Yeah,
I don't think I
geez.
can risk showing up on Wednesday, finding a suit place,
Yeah,
and booking a suit for the next day.
it's going to be so hectic, man. So hectic.
Yeah.
Um, cool. We're going to see you flying up on Thursday. It was quite cool on Saturday, by the way, Dave. Just going back to the events. Last Saturday, I was at the brokerage boot camp.
Mm.
From we started like at 8 9. I was there half past 7 8, and to see the success that's come out of it. So there's a couple of deals. Hey, Nico, I believe Nico confirmed. I think Bronwyn's got two sourcing opportunities available. They're multi-lets. I don't have the information on them. Maybe Nico, if you want to be as kind, maybe just give us some high-level information. What is it? Where is it? Um, and yeah, let's see if there's anyone that's looking for multi-let properties. But it's good to see the traction, the lessons learned. Leonora was there, Bruno was there, Henry, you were there
And Andrew's
as
internet's not
well.
great. You back, Andrew?
Yeah, is that my internet again? Okay. Let me swap internet signals while we are talking. And in the
Uh,
meantime, does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, not seeing any questions at the moment. So that's good. Maybe what I'll do quickly while you're doing that, I'm switching over. I will quickly run through who our finalists are, and we can talk about that. So maybe just as a call to action, guys, remember you'll see a link in the chat box over there. Invest the Year Award happening on Thursday night. You can still buy your tickets. I think we're pretty much sold out of the in-person stuff, but there's still virtual tickets, which also gives you the opportunity to do your voting. Let me just quickly add a screen over here. Cool, and it's just falling off.
Cool. I should be back.
Cool, yeah, should be back. Let me just get this the right size so that everyone can see it properly. There you go. That's good. Cool. So I just figured we'd quickly get into talking about the finalists so long. So beginner category, at the same time also checking how the voting's looking at the moment because I can do that. For the beginner category, we got Tennille Peterson. So Tennille's from Cape Town, did her first deal. Emma's down in Durban, also did her first deal. They both did deals in Joburg, which is nice to see. Sort of the guys out in the more expensive cities investing in Joburg. And then we've got Namakosi, who did a bit of a development project with Tough. Really good project, really nice little, really exciting to see a beginner go so far in the process, which is really good. Drew, are we allowed to talk about favorites, preferred? Where are you voting?
Yeah, geez, I can't really say, hey, Dave. I'm not going to be a formal judge on the night, and I think all three of them bring a unique flavor,
Yeah,
a unique difference to the table. So it's actually like quite difficult, eh? I think I'm going to stay partial on this one, eh?
yeah. 100%. Yeah, at the end of the day, I don't get a vote anymore. So,
Yeah,
big leagues. So, big leagues is one of the categories I enjoy the most. It's really exciting. It's talking about guys going into developments that size. So, we've got the Zola, who's got a mixed use property out in the Eastern Cape, and we've got Molalo, who's out up in Joburg side as well, if memory serves. Also did a small development, yeah, up in Johannesburg. So really exciting competition over there. Those guys are doing fantastic work. I spent some time with Lazola. What is I was in P last weekend. I spent some time with Lazola. He's a really cool oak. So I think either way, whichever one of them wins, it's going to be really exciting.
yeah, it's going to be really cool.
Then we got the innovative categories. We Andre Cricker. Andre Cricker did some really creative stuff with student accommodation out here in Cape Town. Red One, so Red One's in the chat. Good to be seeing everyone active. Red One did some Airbnbs, both on a rent to rent model and a rent to buy model. So some really just flexible ways of just getting involved and getting started in property. Plus, Red One's got a really powerful story from having gotten sick with COVID during his investing journey, which is really interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one, eh? Eesh.
Yeah. Drew, this is your favorite category, investor for change.
Yeah,
Do
I
you want
think
to
it's
run us
pretty
through it?
cool. I mean, you got Zama there from Middleburg area, and he built a multi-let for doctors, where he's provided jobs in the areas, free parcels, and he's using property as a vehicle. So I think it's really cool what Zama's done over there. And Darren, coming from the townships from Mitchell Plain, he's now doing a development back in his area that he grew up in, and he's getting the local community to get involved and create jobs and make a difference. And his goal there is to provide quality accommodation, like new apartments, new flats at the current rent, at the market value or below it, to make it as affordable as possible in the townships. So that's his vision, that's his goal, and he's busy doing it. So they both bring again a different spark to the table. And it's the first time we're doing this category. So the first two Investor of the Year, 2018 and 2019, we never had this category. Private property is sponsoring Investor of the Year, but is backing the winner, one of these winners who wins with some really cool prizes. So yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah, 100%. Uh, and then most growth categories. So these are the guys who've sort of gone from the beginner category into the next level of their portfolio. So they're really expanding their portfolios, growing, getting to the big deals. Not quite getting to developments yet, but sort of definitely in that expansion. We've got Terran. Terran's one of old Sapper member, been around for ages, hey Drew. And he's
Yeah.
got quite a lot of properties, and I think he's doing a really good standard. Drew, you're coaching Ben, so you want to tell us what Ben's doing over there?
Yeah, so I'm not coaching Ben at the moment, Lady started coaching Ben years
Okay.
ago. And both Ben and Terren had a very slow start. As in Terren, I think he had so many coaching sessions before he got going, which is fine. Property is a patient game. And Ben was very young when he first started, but as they got the know, the confidence, the strategy, as soon as they did their first deal, the second, the third, and the fourth just rolled in. So that's very, very interesting stories. And then you got Lorato, and Lorato actually made the finalists of 2019, but unfortunately couldn't get to the competition. Yeah, so made Donna's job easy. So she's back, and Lorato is a town planner. She's got quite a bit of experience in property, but when you hear her story, she's been quite aggressive with regards to just buying, and buying. So all three of them, I think it's a great mix. Different levels of experience, different levels of age. So let's see how that goes.
100%. Cool. That's it, Drew.
Yeah,
Exciting.
all fun.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be good. It's gonna be hectic.
Mm.
Still a long way to go until we've got all the winners announced. And then, guys, for those of you who don't know, so what we do is we, from everyone who wins the categories, so from the most growth winner, from the beginner winner, that's when the judges on the night will choose the investor of the year. So some people will get 2 prizes, some people get 1 prize, but it's really exciting to see sort of where we are in the process. It's good.
Mm. And yeah, so as I was saying before, we've got over 300 tickets, virtual tickets so far. The judges on the night, there'll be 6 judges on the evening. There'll be the live audience, the virtual audience, all voting for the category winners, and then the overall investor of the year. And the overall investor of the year winner will be going to Vic Falls. Tickets paid from Joburg, 2 Vic Falls, 3 nights, all expenses paid, and then back to Joburg, which would be awesome. And then other great prizes, like there's some cash prizes. There's an iPad from Uber. There's some free listings with private property. There's coaching. There's memberships. There's just a whole variety of cool prizes. So yeah,
just
I
property.
can't wait.
Absa's got an exemption on home loans. So yeah, really, really cool. Good stuff.
Yeah. I just can't believe it's coming up so quick.
Yeah, it's sort of been coming for so long, and now it's all of a sudden it's here this week.
3 nights. Well.
It's good. We got some questions that came through. In the meantime, we can run through some of those. From Classica, sorry, Desmond. I'm just going to go with Desmond. I can say that one, my bad. Would it be advisable to purchase a house which I want to flip under a new company in order to dispose of the company to another buyer? Okay, so what you're essentially trying to do is avoid transfer duty. So it's not going to work like that. You can't avoid transfer duty by selling the company. That's something that sort of, I can't remember when that ruling changed. It was before I became an investor. But at the end of the day, if your company's asset base or value of the company is more than 75% property, then you're still going to pay transfer duty on the properties under it. Even if it wasn't, you'd still be subject to sales tax, VAT, those sort of things when you sell the company. So you're not going to really be avoiding taxes in any major way. So all you're going to do is just create more admin in terms of having to transfer the ownership of a property and the company. I wouldn't do it. It's not advisable. And most buyers don't want to own property in a company anyway. Traditionally, we sell to average consumers. So for them, the concept's too far removed. Drew, your perspective on that?
No, I agree. On the same page as you there. I wouldn't say any different.
Yeah,
Cool.
No benefit.
Just see Daniel's just joined. How's it, Dan? Good to see you. Super excited about the youth.
With Dan on, you can handle Vuya's question then. When is the Sapin Youth Club happening? What's the latest over there, Drew?
Yeah, so the Sapin Youth, we're still looking to launch in January. Now, what we're looking for, Dave, is we are looking for, if you're between the ages of 18 and 29, between the ages of 18 and 29, young, unemployed Black youth. That's who we're looking for. So if you're unemployed, you're in that age bracket, and you want to apply, get hold of Daniel Kazadi. If you fit the criteria, or if you're working, thanks Dan, and Dan's putting it to 18 to 27. Sorry, if you're working, you don't qualify. This is specifically for unemployment. Is to take the youth that are unemployed and empower them through property. So that's going to be quite big, Dave, and we're talking to some big partners there. And the plan is to launch January. If there's a delay, we'll launch in February. But as we speak, after this call, I've got another call about the youth. So if you know of anyone between the age of 18 and 27, young black unemployed youth in the Joburg, Gauteng area, we do in the Joburg side first, then we'll go over. Okay, so if you know of anyone that fits that criteria, let us know. I'll see Ronald's got a question there. Reinvestor of the year. Is the overall winner chosen from one of the category winners?
Yeah.
Dave?
Yeah, 100%. So that's how it works. So the judges will essentially cast votes based off of who they think should be get the title of Investor of the Year. We'll also weigh in the public votes with that process. The weighting on how we select Investor of the Year award is we're still working out the nuances on that one because there's so much variation. But that's essentially how we'll do it. So it'll be a balance between the public vote as well as the judges selecting the winners. So maybe let's example, Red One, if you absolutely dominate and get all, at the moment there's about 400 votes available. If you get all 400 votes available in innovative category, and then the person who wins Investor for Change only wins by like 50 votes, then you would have a slightly higher chance of winning Investor of the Year or the overall winner over the other person. But a lot of balancing that needs to go into that still, so we're not quite there.
Yeah. It's not as easy as saying we'll have a live voting poll tonight, Dave.
No, please no. I can't do another round of voting, please. We already got 2 rounds of voting. Please don't make it a third.
It's going to be hectic, but it's going to be good. Tambito's asking any educational requirements. You've got to have your matric. So long as you're 18 and older and you got your matric, you can qualify.
Yeah. Nick has got a few deals that he's been posting there. So I think these are the deals that you're speaking to after the sourcing bootcamp that they've just finished. So it looks like there's 2 deals. One deal where there's angel investment required, 400,000 at 15%, or some lower brackets as well. Essentially, you'll be taking part in development with that project, which is really exciting. So that's good. And then the other one, 2 deals in Edenvale. One requires a bond and some cash of about $500,000 as well, with a 23% ROI, so that's really healthy. The other one has a bond of 1.6 with a cash of about 400 with an 18% ROI. So both of those 2 Edenvale deals are cash flow positive. Those are really solid. So for those of the guys who, like, if you look at Emma and Neil, the way that they did their first deal up in Joburg, going through the brokerage, going through Andrew, there's a coach, leveraging the network. So if you want to get some good cash flow deals over there, then there you go. That's a really good opportunity for you. Especially that Edenvale deal, the 1.7 with 8,900 cash flow every month. That's really good.
Yeah, not bad, eh?
Yeah,
and I think those got secured, if I'm not mistaken, on Friday. If I'm mistaken, so they're fresh, eh? I haven't seen them. I don't know the addresses yet, but I'll find out more information from Nico later on. Those will probably get snapped up quite quickly. And then I see Nico posted angel investors required 400 grand, 15%, 100K at 10%, and 400K at 13%. 4.5 million at 10% per annum. Join the development, learn and earn. That's a pretty cool one, Dave. That's where if anyone puts in 100,000 rand or more, speaking to Nico about it, how it's going to work is that investor is going to go through the learning process. It's a property in Bryanston. It's raised 3. There's a house on it. And what's going to happen is once they've raised 4.5 million, it's the purchase cost, it's the acquisition cost, and it's the marketing cost. The idea there is that they'll be knocking down the property and building 8 units. The STPs already in plan. Contributions will be paid by the seller. But the big return on this property is the education that people get, because they can walk the journey from the beginning, from before they knock the house down, all the way through to the end, till we hand over the set of keys to the new buyers. If there's anyone out there that wants to be involved in a development and just invest, whether it's 100 grand or 500 grand or a million, that you'd like to experience what it's like, contact Nico and he'll give you more information. Tabitha says, do you have to have the entire investment or even partial amounts? I know when Nico works with his investors, each project is different, but a lot of investors will allow multiple investors. So if it's 4.5 million and you can only get 100,000 Rand, you can still be part of that great initiative.
Yep. And if you look at Nick's post there, you'll see there's a few different tranches of capital that's required at different interest rates based on the amount of risk that that person's taking. So I expect that the brokerage would want you to at least fully or at least more than half commit to one of those categories. But bearing in mind, if you can only commit like 50% of 400,000, then they need to find someone else for the other 200,000. And if they'd rather find someone with a full amount. That's always going to be preferable for us as investors to have a single investor instead of 4 or 5. It just makes life a lot easier.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. So Stephen Hooper's asking the email address. Let's give Daniel's email address. So Stephen, just drop Daniel an email. He's busy working on the list of candidates for the youth.
It's dank at sapropertynetwork.com, if memory serves. Cool. What are the benefits of, if you're an intermediate member, what are your benefits on buying your first property? So Drew, off the top of my head, we've added so many benefits to freaking intermediate membership recently. Can't actually remember all of them.
So is the question just what are the benefits in intermediate?
Specifically buying a property.
So I mean, we saw today on the intermediate group that deals were posted on the WhatsApp group, just to give people a heads up that deals are there. And where we can, we actually offer it to our intermediate and professional members first. And then, of course, if you are buying your very first property, you need to make sure that you've got the right tools, i.e., Lightstone and TPN. So part of your membership, you get access to those tools to ensure that you can do your due diligence on those deals. And the other thing is attending our premier events. Our premier events aren't for the general public. Our premier events are only for intermediates and professional, and that's where the networking happens. That's where the deals happen in the room. And again, if you're doing your first deal and you're an intermediate member and there's a renovation to be done, small things like getting you a discounted Tile Africa. If you go spend 50 grand or something and you can save yourself 3,000-4,000 Rand, you're almost getting your money back just through the savings with some of our partners by doing your very first deal. And we've said it before, the intermediate members that are serious and they take advantage of the full membership. Sometimes they end up making money because don't forget, part of being an intermediate member, you also get a voucher from the academy as well. So to get the education. So there's a load of different benefits of joining the intermediate.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, you're definitely going to get benefits when you come to, if you're looking at buy to let, then you've got preferential coming on board with a reduced listing fee, and activation fees are going to be waived. You've obviously got access to all the partners and providers, and I think if you do a nice email to Bruno, he might be able to give you something on the of the registration fees.
Yeah,
but we'll see what's viable there. I'm not making promises on their behalf.
Exactly. And who was asking that? Who was that?
That was Michael, I believe. Yeah, Michael.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll just speak to Alani. She'll sort you out. I see there's
in terms of flips, I've done a deal at the end of 2020 and it wasn't closed yet. I've settled the seller, but my file is still with the lawyer, not closed. I'm planning to acquire another property at the bank. Can I utilize the subsidy this time? So FLISP has some pretty strict requirements. I know they're undergoing a bit of a restructure in terms of what their requirements are. So there's going to be some changes coming down there in the near future. Because it's not your first property, you'll immediately be disqualified because you already own a property. I assume because you're an investor, you're also going to try to buy in a limited company. And FLISP also doesn't apply if you're doing that. FLISP is very much targeted at a set group of people who have a certain earning potential. Don't ask me what it is. And then it'll be their first property. And there's value adjustments on the value of the property if memory serves as well, Drew.
Yeah, so I think it'll be earning something like between 3,000 and 22 or 23,000. You're going to fall into a bracket. You must be a South African citizen. If I'm not mistaken, you need to have a dependency as well in your family. And like I said, you couldn't have had an RDP house. So there's like four
Yep.
main criteria points. If you tick those four main criteria points, the chance that you will get a plus subsidy, which is great. I think you can use it as the deposit or buying costs. And yes, so Dave, depending how much the household earns and the value of the property will depend how much help that you get or help you get from FLISP.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
100%.
And if you go through Uber Home Loans, they work directly with FLISP. So if if I got that right, if you go through Home Loans, just go through SAP and Connect and go to Uber. Tell Uber that you want to work with FLISP, and they'll do all the paperwork for you. They'll get the documentation out. They'll explain to you exactly how that works because they do have a deal with FLISP, which is great. I didn't even know that. So that's Uber Home Loans.
Yeah. So Uber Home Loans can sort you out over there. So you'll see in the chat box, our team's put a link to the membership. So if you wanted to review all the benefits, see what benefits you get as a SAPN member, you can follow that link. And then while you're on the website, you can go to SAP and Connect, and you can connect with Uber and the team over there.
Cool. And then so I mean, as you know, Dave, as you know, we've been building our youth program now. So any youth in that age bracket can join our Facebook group right now. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, you can join that Facebook group. And then we have a specific initiative which will be funded by an enterprise program by one of our partners, and they've got very strict criteria as to who joins that specific program. But otherwise, the youth and Daniel's going around. Dad, I don't think you know it yet, but you'll be talking at the end of the month in front of a group of youth, and it's for all walks of life across the country. So just letting you know, but the specific initiative that's only for about 20 people with very strict criteria there by the enterprise company.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah, so just to make sure that that's clear, guys, if you fit within that age range of 18 to 27, I think that's what Dan said, then there's open support, there's a lot of support over there. There's the WhatsApp group, the Facebook group, or WhatsApp group if memory serves, and you get that sort of platform. And then there's the sponsored program as well, which essentially happens under a learnership. So there we got some fairly strict criteria over to work who can fall into that learnership. So that'll be happening. Michael's asking us to do the sourcing bootcamp in Cape Town. I honestly, Michael, I don't think it'll happen because the sourcing bootcamp happens over a month or so. It takes a little longer. It takes a lot more work. Really flying up to Joburg is probably going to be the only viable way to do that because we'll have to fly a bunch of people down to Cape Town as well. And then we'll have to see how big a room we can get. You also got to remember that it requires a lot of setup for us because if memory serves, they try to do some live deal analysis. They try to go onto a site, and to do that in Cape Town remotely for the brokerage team is quite challenging.
Yeah, I agree, Dave. And I think it's definitely worth people flying into Joburg, whether from Durban or Bloem or Cape Town, and seeing what is happening in and around Joburg and how the deal sourcing bootcamp really works. You'll probably find that within that 1 month, I mean, Nico, don't quote me on it, but you'll probably end up with like 4 or 5 deals. 4 or 5 deals. Those sourcing agents have found, that found those properties. That's worth over 100,000 rand. Well, actually, way more than that. More like a few 100,000 rand. So if you're out there, Mark, and you're in Cape Town, it might be worth planning and coming to the next boot camp in Joburg if you can.
Yeah. It's especially because we try and make it practical. We want to do real world deals. We want to use real world examples that the guys can go and see. So that's the big reason why it's mostly going to only happen in Joburg. Drew and I are sitting this week to discuss next year's calendar. So, but I think we might bring developments down to Cape Town, but I doubt we'll bring sourcing bootcamp to Cape Town.
Yeah, no, exactly. Sounds good, man. And geez, what else? I'm trying to think. Friday's the end of your function, Dave.
Yeah, Fridays, got all the team up in Joburg, flying up with everyone, making sure everyone's there. Year-end function, good fun. Hopefully, I think we'll all be a little worse for wear after Thursday night, but we'll see how much warning Drew gives us.
No, exactly. It's going to be tough. It's going to be fun, but it's going to be tiring. That Friday morning, Dave, I'm going to have some coaching. We'll probably go view those multi-lets in Edenvale, so join us. And then 2:00 our Christmas function starts, and we're basically going into December. In 2 weeks? What's the date? The 15th. Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and this week, next week's pretty much the last full week of November. Maybe looking a little further forward in the calendar for those of you guys who are Joburg based, looking for a day workshop. Leroy is hosting a wealth builder on the 27th. So really fun full day workshop for those of you guys who are looking to get into property aspirational, or you've got a few properties and you're trying to figure out how to go to the next level. That's the 27th in Johannesburg. Leroy will be doing one, and then Drew, I think you are in Durban on the 4th, if memory serves. I don't have the calendar.
Maybe it's Jade, eh? I think Jade's going out on the 4th.
Jade's out in Durban on the 4th.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jade's out on the 4th. That's in Durban. So there's only 2 more workshops left for the year. And then for the Joburg intermediates and professional members, don't forget about the 15th of December at the Premier Venture in Joburg. You got one as well, Dave, I believe.
Yeah, we haven't quite settled on exactly where we're doing all of them, but definitely one in Joburg, probably one in Cape Town as well. Yeah, last event of the year, kick it off, and then yeah, that's it. So another 3 weeks left of the year?
Jeez, yeah, it's beautiful. Time to rest, ladies and gents. It's been a hectic year, very hectic year, but very positive as well. And I think, Dave, 3 weeks and we're all going to take it easy, which was so nice, eh?
Yeah, that'll be good. So for those guys wondering, coffee chats will continue until the 13th of December, and then Drew and I will take about 3 weeks off for the 20th to 27th and the 3rd of January, and we'll be back on the 10th of January for the coffee chats.
Yeah. And you all need to make sure you join the 13th of December, because Dave and I will be revealing our bet that we had beginning of last year in COVID times, where Dave and I took a bet against, and there's other people, I think Michael Bowen and a few other people put their names down with regards to the bet in terms of what will the interest rate be in December 2021. So I think we're April, May, June 2020. And we said by the end of 2021, and now we come to that point to see what we said the interest rates would be. Have you got those figures there, Dave?
There are a couple of clicks away, but I can get them if you want to stall for me for a minute.
Yeah, no worries, man. Because interest rates is an interesting one. I mean, as you all know, they've been record low now for how many years, which has obviously made an impact the property market. All agents having a record months this year. Yes, this year property prices did slow down compared to last year, but still up in terms of where they were. If you take the last 5 years of the property cycle, even with property prices slowing, it's still higher than what it has been on average over the 5 years. I think something like 1.5 billion worth of property transactions going through. It's ridiculous. And interest rates can't go down. They've got to go back up. And the question is, how fast and quick will they go back up? So we're still sitting down at the 7s. There's talk of it going up by 0.25 basis points, but let's see what Dave's got.
So Andrew's won the bet, just to clarify, because we set this bet the beginning of COVID when interest rates just dropped, and we're all like, oh, this is going to be quick. So essentially the bet is that at the end of 2021, Andrew bets that prime will still be below 10%, and David bets it'll be over 10%.
Woohoo! I'm the winner, guys.
Yeah,
Can you run applause, please?
Drew's winning that one. Rin,
so what are you going to buy me, Dave?
I don't know. We'll see.
Well, you
Rian said it'll still be around 10%. It'll be just below 10%. Mo said it's not going to go back up until 10% until 2024. Leon and Nico said it's not going to go above 10% until 2022. So after me, Leon loses, then Nico might win.
So let's. What happens. Can we do another bet for 2022 then?
No.
Come, let's do a bet. Come.
No, I'm not. I don't know what's happened anymore. This bet was made in the beginning of COVID. We're all like, oh yeah, sure, COVID's gonna be over in like 8 weeks.
I know, and yeah, we are. I reckon my gut feeling says December 2022 will be like 8.5, somewhere around there, 8.5, 8.75. I reckon that's where we're going to be. Let's ask the audience. Say Zakila, Jean-Paul, Tiamo, Nico, Michael, or Ridwan. Where do you think interest rates will be this time next year? And Dave will record that for us as well. Let's see what everyone says. Where will interest rates be December 2022, 12 months? So I reckon they're going to go up by 1.5. So I reckon we'll be sitting at like 8.5. Maybe 9, but I think 8.5 in December. Let's see what comes through.
Yeah.
Red one, COVID wasn't that bad. Nicholas is sticking to my guns. So Nico, you saying 9% December?
Yeah, I guess it's 9% in December.
Let's see. Red one is 8.75. Let's record red ones. Tembisa, what do you reckon? Stephen, what do you think? Let's see. Tequila, 8.5%. Seems to be a bit of confidence on the 8-9%.
Your bet. Okay, sorry, Andrew, your bet was?
If I've got to give an exact amount, I'm at 8.5. Same as Aquila. Desmond reckons 9.25%. And you ever get it spot on, I'm going to buy you a present. I won't tell you what the present is yet. It's a surprise.
Andrew, Kilo, Ridwan.
And then Dave, throughout 2022, we'll bring the spreadsheet out.
I do think I'm making a spreadsheet for this.
Yeah, who else we got? So Desmond 9.25, Zakila 8.5, Ridwan, Tembisa. What do you think? And Tabi says 8.5, same as me. Interesting.
You know what? I'm gonna lowball it. I'm gonna just completely switch where my initial vote was. I'm gonna sit at 8.
Oh, you're stuck, Mr. Conservative. Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it low. I think with all the capital injection happening at the moment, they're gonna keep it down for a little longer.
Yeah.
Okay. Clifford decided to undercut me. Thank you for that, Clifford.
I'll take 10%. Business has to catch up. 10%, sure. Okay, Tembisa, let's see. You never know. So we got as low as 7.75 and as high as 10. Okay, so Dave is capturing all that's on a spreadsheet, and throughout 2022, we'll be bringing the spreadsheet out and seeing who is going to win the next bet. So I won the bet for 2021. Woohoo! Interest rates. I knew they'd stay low for a while. Just not this long, but yeah, I'm glad they have. Okay, cool.
I don't think any of us expected, because I'm pretty sure this time last year we're like, yeah, next year we'll be back to a normal event.
Yeah, exactly. And then it was the whole matric holiday in Durban, where all the Joburgers went to Durban and like super spreaders.
Yeah, I blame Joe Burgers too. Don't worry, I'm with you there.
Crazy. But yeah, guys, it's been a heavy year, man. It's been a heavy year for all of us. For a lot of people, some ups and some downs, losing friends, people still emigrating, just all different things happening. It's been a crazy year, and I'm pretty sure a lot of us will be. Yeah, I always look forward to a fresh start, a new year. But we still have 3 to 4 weeks left, ladies and gents, of just pushing. There's a few deals. I got property viewings on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's going to be a busy week. I'm going to push it right till the end. We still got a couple one-day workshops. For those of you that still want to upskill, I always say it's always better to do it at the end of the year, getting ready for the beginning of next year. Don't just completely sit back now and wait for 2022. Get stuck in now. Give the last 3-4 weeks. Give it your all. Get some deals under your belt. Get out there, view properties, touch base with us. And then take a break over Christmas and then start off on the 5th of Jan with a bang. We've got some more guys there. Stephen saying 8%, Jonathan 8.25, Joy 8.2. This is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, big time.
I don't know. I learned my lesson last time. I guess at least this time it's only like next year, not 2 years from now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. 12 months. We've got 12 months to go. So we'll see how it goes. But otherwise, we're going to crack on, and we're going to, all our energy, everyone is going into the event on Thursday night, Investor of the Year. If you haven't got your virtual ticket, get your virtual ticket and vote for one of the investors. There's 5 different categories. Out of the 5 winners of those categories, we'll then decide who the overall winner is for 2021. and all the entrants need your support. Some of you are joining us face-to-face live at the Marriott Hotel this at 6 p.m. this Thursday. It's a black tie event. I went this morning. I've got my tux, so I'm ready for Thursday night. And if you want to join us, get your ticket. Or if you just want to join us virtually, that's fine as well. That's going to be a great event, one of its kind in the property space. So I'm super excited about that. And remember, if you've got some capital right now, 100 grand or 200 grand or $1 million, speak to Nico. He's actually got a handful of very good deals, very good opportunities that you can get involved with. Some of them are straightforward angel, silent investing. Some of them you can get involved with and learn from the project. So you're putting some skin in the game, you're earning a decent to good interest rate, so you're getting a return and you're learning through the process. And it doesn't happen often where Nico has like a handful of good opportunities. So make sure you drop Nico an email, give him a call and say, hey, I've got 100 grand or I've got 500 grand. I want to get involved in a property deal. Reach out to Nico and he'll certainly help you out. And I think, yeah, Dave, I mean, from my side, that's it. It's been good to see everyone again, and all our energy is going into Investor of the Year, and I hope to see everyone. I hope everyone gets behind this great initiative. And for all the youth, make sure you touch base with Daniel Kazadi. Dave did post his email address on there for you, so you can check it out. And then we take it from there. Hey?
Perfect. Cool. Thanks, Drew. I'll see you Wednesday.
Awesome. Yeah, great. Cheers, everyone.
All right. Cheers, everyone. Bye.